Hi, that's an interesting book. Woodstock Harriers. If you can find a copy of that, that's a great book if you're an athlete. Anyway, moving on, we're doing gardening today. Just like to quickly point out, I'm not a professional horticulturist. Okay, last year I was 100% or near enough 100% self-sufficient in homegrown veg. I'm by no means saying you should do it like I'm doing it. You do it the way you want to do it. If you're a professional grower in another part of the world, you're going to laugh at some of the stuff I do. But just to clarify, not professional gardener, keen amateur, small background in arboriculture and tree surgery. So, you know, I like plants, but not a professional gardener. So hopefully that's cleared that up and you can bear with me and just enjoy what we're doing. So first things first, we're going to quickly run to the allotment and we're going to install something my dad made me. And I've been looking for a post to mount it on. I finally found one. And I would have treated it if in coronavirus times I could have found some wood treatment. But he says that, you know, it will last long enough to do the job for a season. You know, so he's 81 years old, he's made me this. I think it works pretty good. Theory being, if you can still see it, theory being, the wind will bring this compact disc to the top as it rotates. And then when it gets to the top, it will start to descend by the weights here. You can see that's working pretty good. So we'll mount it to a post, we'll take it up there and scare the crap out of some pigeons hopefully. So that's one thing we're doing today. Just wind that to the top. Okay, that's one thing we're doing today. We should put this on the floor now, over here. We're back in a minute. We're also going to take up these pepper plants. I believe these are red peppers. I didn't label them, couldn't find the labels. I believe these are the red peppers, and these slightly more successfully germinated ones are the green peppers. Green peppers. We'll plant those. We'll take the drill with us, and we've waited a month for some fertiliser. Again, you're going to laugh if you're in like the deep south of the United States. You're going to laugh when you see how I transplant sweet corn, but it's kind of the way everybody I know here does it on allotment scale. On the scale we're very small scale. You do see it in fields. I guess it's maize. I don't know. Anyway, without wandering off the subject, a month ago I ordered some fertiliser. The only stuff I could really get, some chicken poo pellets and some fish blood and bone. So they're going to come with us and be applied as we need them. Right, so without further ado, let's have some tea and biscuits and go up the allotment. See you up there. Okay, so we're up the allotment now. I did say I was going to plant these peppers. What I meant was I was going to put them in the polytunnel so they could have a drink in this water tray. They'll stay here for another few weeks until it's definitely warm enough to go inside in the ground, and then I'll plant them out. So let's have a look at what else we've got going. Here in my part of the world, we really can't plant sweet corn directly into the soil because the soil is a bit cold, even at this time of year, which is the beginning of May. So until the weather warms up, we start them off indoors. I've got some here in old reused pot noodle pots. They're just starting. I had these ones in root trainers, which is by far the best way to do it, I think. You can see they've got a plastic cover which keeps them warmer even in the polytunnel, so they're a bit in advance of the others. So there's 2 lots of those, and there's some in these little pots which some of them have come up I think maybe I'd put the best seeds in the in these root trainers, so it's possibly why they've done better. Over here we've got tomatoes just popping up. Well, this is my flower seed tray here. These are nasturtiums. This is some random seed which is obviously got in the packet. I have no idea what that is. Next to them is snapdragons, antirrhinums. They're just going to go out in little clumps, obviously. They're very small seeds. Then the only one I've managed to label is black-eyed Susan. So these ones. That's a climbing sort of vine, annual vine in this country. Zinnias here, which are next up. So, you know, these are all zinnias. They should be pretty. Next to them here we have cosmos, and they're going to be white cosmos, which are a scented flower. If I can find the packet to show you pictures of all of these, I will. But anyway, there we go. That's the flowers. They're going to go in with those sunflowers I'll show you in a moment. Over here we have brassicas and onions, spring onions. So I took a picture of this tray with the seed packets next to it so I can remember what they all are. These are red spring onions. These are Brussels sprouts. These are collards, like an open cabbage. These are white spring onions. And these are regular cabbages, like a conical sort of cabbage. Forget the exact variety. So you've got cabbage, onion, and well, brassicas and onions in there. Now here we have some beetroot, which are going to be thinned out. I'm going to try them like this. I tried them last year, just direct sowing them in the ground, as recommended by another YouTube gardener. I don't really think that was the best way to do it. They just got a lot of wood lice and pest damage where they were so clustered together. So this year I'm going to do them in these seed starts, and we're going to thin them out and plant them individually later. So we've got some Swedes here, another brassica. You can tell brassicas because of these funny sort of heart-shaped leaves, very distinctive. If you see that, you know it's a brassica, part of the cabbage family. So that's Swedes. And then we've got some cucumbers. These are slicing cucumbers, these ones, salad cucumbers. These are some giant walking stick, sorry, not that. This is giant walking stick cabbage, a novelty really. I had some seeds from a friend, Andy North. He's sent them to me. I'm going to grow them and find a spot for them. So then we have sunflowers. These are the fail-safe sunflowers, just in case the ones outside get eaten by slugs. I don't think we've got a problem with that at the moment. And then what do we have next? We have, oh yeah, these are mini pickling cucumbers, tiny little ones I picked up in a tabac in France when I was having a beer after a bike ride. I saw them and I thought, well, let's give those a whirl. We can pickle those up, see what they're like. And then we have, oh, more beetroot, of course we do. More beetroot here. Again, going to be thinned out. So that's the seeds in the polytunnel. Okay, the 4-week drought has finally given up. It's now pouring rain here. Thought I'd quickly show you how well the sunflowers are getting on, even considering their bad position really. I wouldn't ideally put them under a shady tree. But anyway, we had the seeds, we had the space. Maybe we didn't have the space in the right place, but never mind, here we are. So far, so good. The slugs and snails have kept away. I hope I'm not speaking too soon. Right, speak to you later. Bye-bye. Okay, peas at the allotment this year have been an unmitigated disaster. I direct sowed seeds here. Made a nice bed with some nice cane supports, and a little mouse that lives in this bed of cabbage has come out and helped herself to every single one. So I think we'll give this bed over to some of those cucumbers instead now. We've got some peas growing at home, so they'll be okay. These cabbages have definitely got to come out now. I was leaving them for the bees. And there's a bee enjoying it here somewhere. He was. So the bees do love this, but it's time to move on and get something else in there. So they'll come out and go on the compost heap. And I'm just going to save this one cabbage here, which hasn't bolted yet, and it's still edible. There's plenty of edible leaves on there. So we'll have that one for dinner tonight. And what do we have over here? Right, we have kohlrabi, another brassica, another member of the cabbage family. They're doing okay. They've been a bit sketchy on the germination. Got some here which are only just coming up, and some here which are already growing quite nicely. With a net on top to stop the pigeons eating it, because they love a bit of brassica. Next door to that, we've got our first carrots. This is what carrot seedlings look like little bits of grass. I've planted them very thinly, so I don't have to thin them out, although they are a resistant to cabbage root fly variety. So there they are, they're starting off. Hopefully the birds won't come and pick those out. So we should have some carrots soon. And here we get, these are the tubs I'm using for the carrots. I'm going to put another set of, I'll put another set of seedlings in here. Another load of seeds in there soon. And these tubs are 220 litre tubs. So I filled them from the bottom with homegrown compost last year, probably to about halfway. And then this one, I had the parsnips in. I filled up with seed compost. And I've just topped it off a little bit with shop bought compost this year. And I'll top up some more before I put the carrot seeds in. Here we have the brassica cage for all those Brussels sprouts and everything. This is all recycled stuff. This came from somebody's house as underfloor heating pipe. Excuse me for the train. This grey pipe is part of an old bicycle rack that when I went to France last year, on that same trip I bought the cucumber seeds. The day before I went, I took my friend Alan to the sports shop to buy some stuff, forgetting I had the bikes on the roof, and smashed it off through a height restriction. So anyway, they haven't gone to total waste. Yeah, we've reused it. I say more pipes and rebar and canes have made the other supports for here. And this is really just a test to see if the wind will blow this off, which it hasn't so far. It's a very expensive net actually. And although it keeps the birds off, where you get this bit, the slugs do like to go under there. And I'm loath to cut that off at the moment because I think this is going to stretch over time, and I don't want to cut it off and then find, I've got a little strip more that needs to come off. Potatoes. Here we are, look, here's potatoes. Sarpomera, if you remember, in these 4 tubs. They've come up lovely. And then we've got King Edwards in the rest. I think I said there was 16 last time. Yeah, I said there was 16 last time, but there's actually 18 of them. Right, so here, the raspberries are doing well, but I really didn't clear this bed out as well as I wanted to. So we've ended up with Jerusalem artichokes here. Fartichokes, as they call them. I did try to eat them. They don't taste particularly wonderful, and they do give you the most horrendous wind, painful wind. I will not be eating those again. Somebody can comment below that they love them, that they don't have a problem, that if you eat enough of them you get used to it. Yeah, well, that's your choice. I won't be eating them again. Yeah, so raspberries, potatoes, weedy Jerusalem artichokes. It has a nice flower, just leave them there for the flower. They're very hard to get rid of because they have little tiny bulbs in the bottom, or tubers in the bottom. So they're very hard to get rid of. No sign of, there's a bit of a volunteer potato there. That's, and it's got bindweed coming up next to it. I should dig that out really rather than just pull the tops off. Never mind. Parsnips in here, they haven't shown yet. They're a bit random, a bit unpredictable when they pop up. There's another volunteer potato there. We'll leave that. Garlic is really starting to pop. They're loving the bit of rain they've had, so they're doing well. Hardneck garlic, we'll get some flower scapes come up from the middle soon, and we can eat those. Just cook them up like beans, they're quite nice. Mild garlic taste. Another volunteer potato. This is why I'm not going to grow potatoes in the ground anymore, only in the tubs, because you can never find them all, and they just volunteer and pop up again next year. You never really get rid of them. Another one over there. So we have our elephant garlic, our solo onion. I picked the other little onions that were coming, I ate them. Our one onion, lonely, but it looks like it's going to be a nice onion, so not all bad. Right, so next though really is to dig out this chard. Gonna get rid of that. Wraps up the tour of the garden. I need to just put the bird scare up now, and I'll show you why I'm going to put the bird scare up. I'm going to try it. Actually, I don't know where to try it. I don't know whether to try it on the. I don't know whether to try it on these thornless blackberries, which this one in particular doesn't really do very well. It didn't do very well last year. It's got some. I don't know why these are so funny, these leaves. It was like that last year. I've moved it. Whether it's just a variety, I have no idea. This one looks much healthier. Much healthier. It's got flowers coming on and everything. So I might put the bird scare in here to keep the birds off, because this one, you'll also notice, it's been nibbled by something. So I don't know what's nibbling that. Or do I put the bird scarer on my sunflower field? Let me have a little think and you'll see where it ends up.
There we go. Mark 1 bird scarer reporting for action. You can hear the pigeons. Terrified they are, absolutely terrified.